Let's hop into our imaginary time machine. Set the dial for, let's say about 40 years ago, before the internet was in every house. Before your phone was smart, and before a tweet was anything other than a sound a bird makes. Imagine you needed to look something up for a school report. You couldn't just type a question into a search engine. No, you had to go to the library. You'd walk through the doors, smell that wonderful old paper smell, pull out a card from the card catalog, then you'd hunt down the right volume of an encyclopedia, a big heavy book, and find your answer. It was a real physical adventure for knowledge. Now what if you wanted to talk to your friend who lived across the country? You couldn't send them a quick text message with an emoji. You would have to use a telephone, one that was probably attached to the wall with a long curly cord. You'd dial their number on a rotary phone, making that whirring sound for each digit and hope they were home. If they weren't, you'd just have to try again later. It was a world that moved at the speed of people, not at the speed of light. Planning a trip was another big production. So what changed? How did we go from paper maps, rotary phones, to the world we have today? The answer is a tiny, invisible thing called a bit. A bit is the smallest possible piece of information in the digital world. Think of it like a light switch. It can either be on or off. That's it. In computer language, we represent on with the number 1 and off with the number 0. These ones and zeros are the building blocks of everything you see on a screen. They are the atoms of the digital universe. It's a very simple idea, but when you put billions of them together, you can do amazing things. Your favorite song on a streaming service, it's just a very, very long sequence of ones and zeros. The photo you just posted online, it's a grid of tiny dots called pixels, and the color of each pixel is described by a specific combination of bits. A video is just a series of these pictures shown very fast, each one made of millions of bits. Even the words you are reading right now have been turned into bits. Sent through the internet, and then turned back into letters on your screen. Everything, from a simple text message to a complex video game, is constructed from this incredibly simple on or off system. Now, one bit by itself can't do much. It can only say yes or no, on or off. But when you group them together, their power grows exponentially. A group of 8 bits is called a byte. A byte can represent 256 different combinations of ones and zeros. That's enough to represent letters, uppercase and lowercase number symbols. From there we get kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. Each one is 1,000 times bigger than the last, allowing us to store and process enormous amounts of information from entire libraries of books to high-definition movies. This ability to turn all kinds of information, pictures, sounds, words, numbers, into a universal language of bits is why our world has been so completely rewired. Before, a photograph was a chemical process, music was a groove on a vinyl record, a book was ink on paper. They were all different things made of different stuff. Now, they are all just data, they are all just bits. This common language allows them to be created, copied, and shared around the world in an instant. The bit is the reason your phone can be a camera, a music player, a library, and a telephone all at once. Once we figured out how to turn everything into bits, the next step was to connect all the computers so they could share those bits. That connection is what we call the internet. Think of it as a giant, global network of postal routes. But instead of sending paper letters, it sends packets of data at nearly the speed of light. This great rewiring didn't just change one or two things, it changed the fundamental ways we live, work, and communicate. Take a moment and think about your day so far. Chances are you've already interacted with the digital world dozens of times, maybe without even noticing. It probably started when the alarm on your smartphone went off. Maybe you checked the weather forecast on an app. You scrolled through your social media feed to see what your friends were up to. Or you read the morning news on a website. Before you even got out of bed, you consumed a whole meal of digital information. We are living in a constant stream of bits, a river of data from morning until night. Our reliance on the smartphone is the most obvious example. This little device in your pocket is a gateway to the entire digital universe. Map, camera, music player, bank, calendar, library, primary communication tool. We use it to order food, call a ride, pay for groceries, prove who we are. It navigates our world and alerts us to traffic jams ahead. The smartphone isn't just a tool. For many, it's an extension of mind and body. Then there's the rise of the smart home. Thermostat learns your schedule and adjusts temperature. Lights turn on and off with a voice command. Doorbell shows you who's at the door, even when you're not home. Refrigerator might tell you when you're out of milk. These devices constantly collect and share bits to make life more convenient, efficient, and secure. Our homes are becoming part of the network. And of course, there's entertainment. We stream movies and series on demand, whenever and wherever. Personalized playlists made by algorithms. Millions of players in vast online game worlds. Leisure time is curated by systems that analyze what we watched and listened to. This digital diet shapes our culture and personal tastes. One of the most incredible benefits of this digital revolution is, honestly, the sheer accessibility of information. Humankind's collected knowledge is now, for the most part, available at our fingertips. If you have a question about anything, from the history of ancient Rome to the principles of quantum physics, you can find an answer in seconds. This has created a generation of people who are, more informed about a wider range of topics than any generation before. It empowers curiosity. You can follow a train of thought from one topic to another, diving deep into rabbit holes of knowledge on a whim. This is truly a superpower. This access has also made life much more convenient. Think about all the little tasks that used to take up so much time. Banking used to mean physically going to a bank branch, waiting in line, talking to a teller. Now you can deposit a check by taking a picture of it with your phone. Shopping meant driving to multiple stores to find what you needed. Now you can compare prices from dozens of retailers and have almost anything delivered to your doorstep in a day or two. These conveniences free up our time and mental energy for other things, whether that's work, hobbies, spending time with family. The Bit generation has also been gifted with powerful tools for creativity and self-expression. You don't need a professional recording studio to make music anymore. You can do it on a laptop. You don't need an expensive camera and a dark room to be a photographer. Your phone is a powerful creative tool. You can write a blog and share your thoughts with the world, create videos and build a global audience, design digital art and sell it online. The barriers to entry for creating and distributing art and ideas have been lowered dramatically, leading to an explosion of creativity from all corners of the globe. Furthermore, technology has enabled connections that were once impossible. Support groups for rare diseases can bring people together from all over the world, helping them realize they are not alone. Families separated by oceans can witness each other's daily lives through video calls, shared photo albums. Scientists on different continents can collaborate in real time on groundbreaking research, accelerating the pace of discovery. This ability to form communities based on shared interests, goals, or circumstances, regardless of geography, has created a more interconnected and, in many ways, more empathetic world. We can connect with people who are different from us and learn from their experiences. One of the great paradoxes of the Bit generation is the question of social connection. On one hand, technology allows us to maintain contact with a vast network of people. We can keep up with old high school friends. We can keep up with distant relatives. We can keep up with colleagues from past jobs. Social media platforms create a space where we can share life updates. Social media lets us celebrate successes. Social media lets us offer support during tough times. You might feel closer to your cousin who lives 1,000 miles away because you see their posts every day. In this sense, we are undeniably more connected, maintaining a larger web of weak social ties than was ever possible before. However, many people report feeling more lonely and isolated than ever. The question is, what is the quality of these digital connections? A like on a photo is not the same as a hug. A text message conversation lacks the nuance of a face-to-face chat. In person, you can read body language and hear tone of voice. We might be communicating more, but are we relating less? It's possible to spend an entire evening scrolling through highlight reels while feeling disconnected from our own life. The curated perfection we see online can lead to social comparison and feelings of inadequacy. The nature of friendship itself may be changing. In the past, friendship grew from shared physical experiences, playing on the same team, living in the same neighborhood, working in the same office. Now, friendships can form and be maintained entirely online through a video game or through a fan community. These connections are real and can be incredibly meaningful, but they exist in a different context. The challenge is to find balance, use technology to supplement real-world relationships, not replace them. Invest time in the people physically present in our lives.